Hey, what's up, everybody? Got a little bit of a different sort of video here for you today. I'm looking over on the other screen to make sure that I'm actually recording my audio this time around. And so what we're going to look at here is something that might be a little unexpected. We're going to go and check out and see what the jobs market looks like here in game. So the way you do that, if you haven't done it before, you go over to staff and then you go over to job center. First of all, you're going to come up with a whole ton of stuff. You want to make sure you only have manager jobs selected and club jobs unless you really want to do international. And then you can kind of choose what nation you want. You could look at them all at once if you really want to. Remember, we want to do this in order, so we want to try to do Oceania first. The only club I could find in Oceania that was open is this Tiga Sport over in New Caledonia, semi-professional club who are, what position are they in right now? Let's take a quick look and see how they're doing. I mean, they're doing all right. Some wins, some losses. You know, this actually looks like a club that wouldn't necessarily be so awful to go to. At the very least, it's semi-professional, which would probably get us out of amateur land for a while. The place I'd really like to go here is New Zealand, but as you can see, there are no vacancies at the moment. The other place that comes immediately to mind would be Fiji. These are sort of like the two places that you would go in Oceania to try to force a move. But unfortunately, there is nothing available there either. And so it's really kind of New Caledonia or bust at the moment if push came to shove and if we were like, oh, we need something right away. Now, the other thing that we can look at here is over the job security screen. As you can see, I've already been looking at this. It's set up the same way. This will just show you which clubs have managers that are kind of in the hot seat at the moment and which ones are stable. And so when we look at Vanuatu, we can see there are two here in the Panama Premier Division that have unstable or insecure, rather, managers. These are also all going to be semi-professional clubs. So the idea of going straight to a fully professional club is probably not something we'll be able to do right at the moment. But there is a chance that we can move into one of these jobs and sort of build up. I would say that the team in Vanuatu probably has a better chance of winning the Champions League than a team in American Samoa, at least assuming that there's not some sort of awful bug that is going to prevent this from moving forward the way that it should. So I guess we'll figure that out in the long run. New Zealand, as I said before, this is kind of the place you want to be. I mean, of course, if you can, you want to go to Auckland City. This is a professional team. And see, this is the sort of team that you really want to get hired by. Probably not going to have them calling my number late at night. And there are a bunch of teams here that are actually amateur clubs that are a bit not quite as secure or stable, right? And we do kind of want to stay away from those amateur clubs if we can. I really would prefer a move to a professional club. As you can see here, anything that's really not Auckland City is probably going to be semi-professional at best and maybe even amateur. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. What we could do with this is you can always go here to like let's see, you could always go over to, I think it's over to the job itself and declare your interest in it. I'm trying to remember where the button is actually, and I'm not finding it here at the moment. But there is a way for you somewhere in here to declare your interest in a job if you're really, really interested in doing it. Yeah, here you go. You can right-click on it and just click on Declare Interest in Job. I'm not going to do that right now, though, because if I were to do that publicly, that could result in my firing from this job that I'm in right now. That's sort of the card that I want to hold in my back pocket just in case we need it. If I can see that we're not going to win the league and qualify for a Champions League qualification rounds again this next season, if that's the case, then yeah, we might as well declare interest in some random club and see if we can't just move on and get the save moved forward a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If I were to do that, I probably wouldn't do New Zealand right away. Again, I probably would go over to Fiji, which is where I think we probably have a little bit better chance at getting something made up and having a team that can win pretty well and can compete in the continental competitions. As you can see, a whole bunch of different semi-professional teams. I mean, PanSa FC is more untouchable. We're not going to get that job. We might be able to go over to Ba or something like that. Also semi-professional, not doing so well lately, and see if we can't get things turned around. So there's a lot of possibilities that await us here. Part of the question is whether my reputation is higher than that of like this guy. I don't know. I'm not sure on here if there's any way I can figure that out. Now, part of the problem, of course, is the skin that I'm using. I think it hides the reputation itself So I don't know, or maybe it is here somewhere, and I'm just not sure where I'm supposed to find it. He does have a higher coaching qualification than I do, but not that much. So there's a chance that I might be able to sort of rock the boat a little bit if I were to declare interest in this job. They might say, oh, let's go over with the new guy who looks like he's more successful. I don't know. It's something that we can find out. What I'm thinking is that if we end up losing another match here and we're 9 points behind Ilawa and Tomata, that's where I think that it's probably better for us to just go ahead and look into jumping ship because there's really no chance that we're going to be able to come back from that. I mean, as it stands right now, we're probably not going to come back anyway. Other thing I'll show you here is my performance. I'm getting a C and a C+, which is like okay. You might wonder why it's not higher, and the reason why it's not higher, as I realized a little while ago, is that they want us to win the league this year, which is funny because at the beginning of the season they told me that they wanted to finish in the top half. So this is another example of FM23 sort of changing its mind for whatever reason part of the way through. I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever. Anyway, so that's what's going on. And that's part of the reason why I'm thinking, well, maybe we want to switch. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to promise anything one way or another at this point, other than that if we do lose another match, I'm going to start job hunting, and then the save should become pretty interesting. So there you have it. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you would do down below, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.